Peace. How's it going, Patrick? Conservative Rap, and let's jump right into the financial and economic news. All right, so we're going to share. This is from AP, and you may be hearing a lot about this as well. Federal Reserve shows unexpected unity and independence as it weathers Trump's attacks. Now, this is false. And this goes to show you with the fake news, it's not just the political, the social stuff you see on immigration or on standard sort of social issues. The financial news itself is fake, and it's designed to brainwash us and keep us within their system. There is no freaking unity in the Federal Reserve. I'm going to just go over quickly to a post by Kobisi Letter on X, which I like as let's just say, alternative source of information. The Fed is highly divided. In today's Fed dot plot, 9 out of 19 Fed members saw the need for 50 basis points of additional rate cuts in 2025. However, 6 out of the 19 Fed members believe 0 additional rate cuts are needed this year. Meanwhile, one member thinks the Fed will hike this year, and one member thinks the Fed is going to cut 125 basis points by January. This is by far the most divided Fed board in years. So, again, and we'll just keep on, let's stay on the trip with X. You may have also heard about Trump's trip recently to the UK, and it just goes to show you what a deal maker this is. We'll move on to this next, but the goal is to take us out of their system, to go from the Federal Reserve, absorb that eventually into the Treasury so we can get off of this fake dollar system that we've been in for the past several generations. Now, Trump and Starmer U.S. signed tech prosperity deal. U.S. firms led by Microsoft, including BlackRock, NVIDIA, OpenAI, Oracle, Amazon, and CoreWeave, will invest $42 billion in the UK to develop AI for healthcare, quantum computing, and nuclear projects. This is amazing. Let's take a quick look.
Can I sign this? Are you sure, Scott? If the deal's no good, I'm blaming you, Scott. It's a great honor.
I'm just glad we have a deal maker like this in office.
Okay, hold that up. Yeah.
All right. So again, just something I love to see. It's not often we have somebody in office fighting for America financially and economically, and we all need to be grateful that we do. Now I'm going to go on to Bitcoin Magazine. U.S. dollar has lost over 10% of this value this year. Opt out with Bitcoin. 100%. We're going to keep moving. I love this analysis. One last thing on the financial piece. This is a huge deal, and it's off the radar. U.S. voted 48-47 to confirm President Trump's nominee, Moran, to join the Fed board. Controlled demolition. Moran is a critical pawn. That's why he's barely passed confirmation. The enemy fears Moran. The Senate has confirmed Stephen Moran, President Donald Trump's pick to join the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Moran will participate in Fed policy committees upcoming the meeting, where the board will consider whether or not to cut interest rates. Moran will also keep his White House position at the helm of the Council of Economic Advisors, but will take an unpaid leave to serve on the central bank board. Timing a coincidence? Trump got him confirmed right before his huge Fed meeting rate cuts that he'll participate in by voting. Do you think that he'll vote to cut rates like Trump has been advocating for? Of course. That's the only reason Trump nominated him? Definitely not. Did you catch that Moran is going to keep his position as head of the White House Council of Economic Advisors? Why? Controlled demolition. Do you know Stephen Moran's background and why he's so important? Do you know the enemy fears him? Stephen Moran's appointment, Trump's personal reset architecture, is now working within the Fed that Trump is dismantling. Without getting into the weeds, Moran, the mastermind behind what's dubbed the Mar-a-Lago Accord, outlined a comprehensive plan to flip the U.S. dollar's reserve status from a burden into a bargaining chip, to turn Americans' towering debt from an embarrassment into leverage, and to reorient their entire global economic structure in Washington's favor. Moran is the architect of the Mar-a-Lago Accord. The plan will no longer force the world into more debt by propping up the fiat dollar. The entire global financial system is going to be transformed. The fiat dollar is going into the trash bin of history, along with the Fed control of our financial system. And of course, what makes this especially relevant right now, particularly for anyone with gold exposure, is the timing. The yellow metal has been on a relentless march higher throughout 2025, setting multiple all-time highs and blasting past 3,400 an ounce just last month. Now with Moran's appointment, we're seeing exactly why smart money has been quietly accumulating the yellow metal all year. But anyone thinking Moran's appointment is simply about giving Trump another dovish vote for rate cuts is missing the much bigger picture. Gold isn't just rising because of anticipated rate cuts. It's been rising because of informed investors recognizing what Trump's reset strategy would eventually require: the systematic weakening of dollar dominance and potentially gold reevaluation. Remember the Fort Knox trips and the Fort Knox auditing that Trump was proposing with Elon just a few short months back. There are two reasons why Trump wants rate cuts. It helps the housing market, which is one of the biggest drivers of economic productivity, but rate cuts will also value the dollar globally. More countries will dump the dollar and return to using their own sovereign currencies right before the world goes back to a gold standard, the new golden age. The reset strategy involves coordinating dollar devaluation, but that requires the Fed to be on board. You can't orchestrate a Plaza Accord style currency adjustment if your central bank is voting against you every step of the way. With Moran inside the Fed, the Trump gets someone who understands both the mechanical microeconomic theory behind dollar devaluation and the practical aspect of how to execute it through monetary policy, the institution, capture of monetary policy. And then he links to Zero Hedge, which is just more of an analysis. But again, this is the new age we're walking into. It's an economic reset of epic proportions. Learn to think beyond the headlines from The Economist, MSNBC, and I would even say like the Yahoo Finances, etc. of the world, and realize what Trump is doing long term is going to put us back on a path where you no longer have to think about getting 2 or 3 jobs. You no longer have to worry if you're going to have to work past 70. You're no longer going to forestall and put off major life accomplishments because the chip, the basic unit currency that you're using, loses value with each and every single passing day. What do you think? Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share below, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.